My boyfriend has fallen in love with a female college student who helps walk our dog. When he said he was working overtime, he was actually playing duo matches with a girl named Siren until midnight. Watching them play one game after another, my heart grew colder and colder. At 2 o'clock in the morning, Travis came back. He tipped out and put the breakfast he brought for me into the refrigerator, then hugged me from behind. He had taken a shower, and his body smelled of the cheap shampoo from the hotel. I couldn't hold back and asked him, "Do you still love me?" Travis was taken aback for a moment, and then hugged me even tighter. "Miss Luna, I promise that there is no one in this world who loves you more than I do." The moonlight was silent. I remembered that at the high school graduation ceremony, Travis snatched the host's microphone in front of all the teachers and students in the school. This is what he said. He said he would always treat me well. He said that there was no one in the world who loved me more than he did. He said, "Miss Luna, would you like to be my girlfriend?" The first time I met Travis was when I transferred to a new school in my sophomore year of high school. We have known each other for 9 years and been in a relationship for 7 years. After we got together, Travis really treated me well, just as he said, no matter how busy he was. He brought me breakfast every day. He remembered every one of my preferences and picked out the Corey and I didn't like for me. I liked a video titled, "Youth Has No Price Tag. A hard seat ticket can take you directly to Lhasa." And on my birthday, he took annual leave, bought tickets, and took me on a spontaneous trip. I had a severe altitude sickness, feeling dizzy and vomiting, and I couldn't even take a shower. Travis didn't mind at all and stayed by my side all night long. I came from a single-parent family, and he was afraid that his parents would say something that made me uncomfortable. So he gave his uncle and aunt a heads up in advance. We had already met each other's parents and bought a wedding house. And what's more, only my name was written on the property ownership of the wedding house. We had made an appointment to lose weight together and take beautiful wedding photos. We were going to get married next summer. I thought about it all night but still couldn't figure it out. It was Travis who provoked me first and said he loved me first. "Travis, didn't you say you would treat me well for a lifetime? How could you have the heart to treat me like this? You have such a heartless heart." I didn't sleep all night. Travis woke up, and I closed my eyes. Before going to work, he habitually came to kiss my forehead. Just the thought of the fact that he had used this mouth to kiss someone else made me feel sick. I turned over, and he didn't insist anymore. There was a post-it note on the bedside that he had just written this morning. 1. Little lazy pig. Sleep a little longer. The breakfast is in the refrigerator. Remember to eat it. Azong got dirty while being walked. Please take Azong to take a bath. My dear wife. There was also a heart drawn in the corner. Azong is a small native dog that we raised together. When Azong heard me getting up, he ran to my feet, and wagged his tail slightly. Some time ago, it was very popular for college students to help walk dogs. I've been very busy in the laboratory recently, and I haven't been back to our home for a long time. Travis found a female college student to help, and it cost 150 yuan each time. I had seen her student ID. Her name was Siren, and she was a junior. She also knew that I was Travis's fiancée. However, they still contacted each other every day. At first, they talked about Azong, and later they talked about music, food, literature. They were like old friends who had known each other for many years. Or like bosom friends with a tacit understanding. They didn't mention love in their words, but they were actually playing an ambiguous game called crossing the line. Compared with Siren, what made me more painful was that Travis allowed her to cross the line. I picked up Azong and stroked him. Azong wasn't dirty yet. Moreover, according to common sense, usually the dog is given a bath before taking it home after the walk. This way, the dog brought home would be clean. Travis unusually asked me to give Azong a bath in advance. For whom was he doing this? I clicked on the WeChat chat at the top. "I'm on vacation. Let me walk Azong. I'll take him to take a bath after the walk." After a while, Travis replied, "The fee for walking the dog has already been paid. You just need to take him to take a bath." Suddenly, I didn't feel like talking anymore. There were only a few places nearby where people could find college students to walk their dogs. Most of them would post videos on Douyin. I almost didn't have to make any effort to find Siren's Douyin account. In the video with the highest number of likes, she and Travis were in the same frame. Travis was walking the dog in front, and Siren was secretly taking a group photo behind. Travis glanced at her sideways, and the sense of destiny and the ambiguous atmosphere were overwhelming. The caption was, "What should I do? Everyone? I met my crush uncle while helping to walk the dog." There were tens of thousands of likes and forwards, and a group of people were shipping them in the comments. A notification that Travis liked this video was particularly glaring. I was just too busy with my experiments and didn't play Douyin or games. But I'm not a fool either. Travis underestimated my intelligence and betrayed my trust in him. In the evening, the high school class group was very lively. A couple in the class was going to get married next month. The class monitor said, "Congratulations. I thought Travis and Luna in our class would be the first couple to get married. I didn't expect that you got there first." Travis needs to work harder. Who's like you guys getting married so quickly? Travis and Luna have already decided to get married next year. Okay? As they talked, everyone started to feel nostalgic and decided that the classmates in North City would have a dinner together on Friday night, and specifically Travis Luna. Travis was working overtime again. I sent him a WeChat message asking, "There's a gathering of old classmates. Are you going?" He replied in the group, "I will definitely attend the wedding of the class couple. I'm rushing a project recently, and I have to work overtime on the weekend to sucks. It's good that you're not coming. Otherwise, you'd overshadow us. Miss Luna, the great beauty, must come." Siren posted a new Douyin video, "I'm going to walk the dog with my crush uncle again tomorrow. I'm so nervous." I took a deep breath and replied okay, in the class group. At the classmate gathering, they were making a ruckus and laughing. When they talked about the past, there were always beautiful and green memories. Their memories were etched with gold, while my memories were starting to fade. The class couple was still as fond of bickering as ever. And they were a well-known couple of love-hate relationship in our grade. Travis and I were representatives of a good-looking couple. I was like a soulless puppet, smiling and echoing. But I didn't even know what they were talking about. When the gathering ended, it started to rain. "Luna, I drove here. Do you want a ride home? You're showing off. Travis will definitely come to pick her up." I nodded, yes. No need to trouble. I'll just ask Travis to come pick me up. Look at them. Hey, do you remember? When it rained heavily in high school and the playground was flooded, Travis directly carried Luna across. Yes, Yes, that was really famous. I sent a message to Travis, "It's raining. Can you come pick me up?" He didn't reply to me. "Luna. And we're leaving. Send us a message when you get home." Okay, I waved with a smile. I called Travis, but he didn't answer either. I clicked on Siren's Douyin, and the location was a hotel. It's raining and thundering. So scary. Fortunately, the uncle is here. Outside the door. It was raining even harder. I knew that my Travis wouldn't come to pick me up. I walked into the rain and felt a bit cold. When I passed by a bar, the bartender stopped me. "You're so pretty. Miss. Come in and take shelter from the rain." There was also a person behind me. After opening the door, I habitually held it for him. "Thank you." His voice was cold. "You're welcome." I didn't look back. The bar's female proprietors was charming and handed me a towel. "What would you like to drink, my poor little thing?" "Long Isle and iced tea." She leaned over half of her body, a friendly reminder. Long Isle and iced tea isn't tea, I know. I haven't slept for 2 days. I want to sleep. A man reeking of cigarettes put his arm around my shoulder. "Are you heartbroken? Does my little brother need to comfort you?" I frowned instinctively. Before I could react, the man had been thrown away. "She doesn't want it." The voice was a bit familiar. It was the person behind me just now. I looked in the direction of the voice, only reaching his chest. The man was very tall, looking thin, but with well-defined muscles. His white shirt was wet from the rain, and the lines of his abdominal muscles were faintly visible under the half-rimmed black framed glasses. His eyes were sharp. The smell on him was also what I liked. My body told me that I liked this man. It is said in books that physical attraction can be more long-lasting. I always knew that my feelings for Travis weren't physical attraction. In all these years with him, it wasn't that I hadn't met someone who made my heart flutter. It was just that my morality made me restrain myself and have a sense of boundaries. But now that Travis has betrayed me, why can't I betray him? I put my arm around the man's neck in front of me, leaned close to his ear, and asked, "Shall we?" A look of surprise flashed in the man's eyes. Seeing his cuteness that was completely inconsistent with the image of a playboy, I smiled. After drinking, my head was a bit dizzy, and my vision was hazy. The lights in the bar were dim, and the man's handsome face was like it was in the center of a kaleidoscope, dangerous and charming. I stood on tiptoe but didn't stand steady. The man reached out to support me, and I fell into his arms as a natural reaction. My fingers twirled on his chest. When I looked up, I could only see his superior jawline. Good-looking guy. I'm asking if we should be together? The man's heartbeat in my ear was strong, but the rhythm was disrupted. His Adam's apple rolled, and his deep eyes like the sea fixed on me. His voice was hoarse, and his breath was warm in my ear. Never look at a man with this kind of gaze. After the warning, a suffocating kiss fell upon me like a tidal wave, overwhelming me. The bar, the heavy rain, the taxi, heading so seldom I'd sigh. The hotel. I didn't know how I got to the bed. I instinctively took deep breaths, like a fish that had been away from the sea for too long and was on the verge of death. The man sneered at my reaction. Can't even breathe? I raised my eyebrows. But my words didn't sound very imposing. I'm very smart. The subtext was that I could learn it quickly. I don't know why, but when the man heard my retort, he laughed even louder. Suddenly, there came a girl's moan from the next room. The sound insulation of the hotel wasn't very good. My rationality gradually returned, and I realized that there was only one hotel nearby. It was the one where Siren had located. I'm naturally sensitive to sounds. If I hate someone, I will also hate all the people whose voices are similar to that person's. Almost instantly, I was sure that it was Siren's voice. "Baby, you're so amazing, I love you to death." Although I had been mentally prepared, when I heard Travis's voice, I still felt as if I had fallen into an ice cellar. I mechanically turned on the voice recording on my phone. I thought that Travis never called me baby. He said, "Baby is too vulgar. Anyone can call it. My Luna is unique." I just realized what he meant now. Since anyone can be called baby, did he just call someone else that way in a vulgar manner? I began to doubt everything about Travis. In those once beautiful moments in my memory, was he playing tricks behind my back? Suspicion and lies were intertwined, and all I could hear was the sound of my heart breaking. I felt nauseous, had a headache, and was dizzy. Before I fell to the ground, I heard a nice curse, "Damn it." When I woke up again, there was a cool sensation on my forehead. It was a wet towel. I was the only one left in the room. I shook my head and recalled the absurd things that happened last night. I definitely didn't take any protective measures yesterday. I didn't want to get into trouble, so I opened the app for buying medicine online. Before I could confirm the payment, there was a beep sound, and the door opened. The man from last night actually didn't leave, and he even brought up some plain porridge. He neatly tidied up the tea table and opened the packaging bag. "Eat something first before taking the medicine." Only then did I notice that he had also bought a bag of cold medicine. There was always a bit of dignity in the man's tone, as if there was a kind of magic that made people have to submit. I got out of bed as if possessed, ate the porridge, and was as obedient as I was back in my school days. Although I didn't have much of an appetite, in that strange atmosphere, I still drank quite a bit of porridge. Someone sent me a message, and the phone screen lit up. The man glanced over. He tidied up the takeout on the table and said in a cold voice, "There's no need to buy it." Huh? He bent down and looked at me. I said, "There's no need to buy that kind of medicine. Nothing happened between us last night." "Oh. Sorry about last night." "Damn it. What am I saying?" The man let out a soft laugh. All right. You owe me one for now. I almost instinctively replied with a okay. Wait a minute. What does owe me one for now mean? I meant the apology kind of kian in Chinese. Kian can mean both apology, apology. The man had dimples at the corners of his mouth when he smiled, which diluted the coldness about him. Asher. He handed me a business card. It's quite a nice name. But unfortunately, he's a fool. He can't really think that I'll contact him again. Can he? I smiled fake and took the business card, casually putting it in my bag. I thought it was Travis replying to me, but it turned out to be a spam message. I opened the memo and found a 5-minute recording. My finger slipped and I opened it. And some indecent sounds came out of it. The atmosphere became even more awkward. I quickly turned it off. Asher raised his eyebrows. Your boyfriend? I nodded. Oh. Break up with him. He's pretty average. His character and physical strength aren't very good either. It was only 5 minutes. And there was nothing after that. So I helped you turn off the recording. Asher tittied up his things. Before leaving, he stopped at the entrance. Revenge should be about making the bad guys suffer, not punishing yourself with other people's mistakes. Then what should I do? I was like a drowning person, desperately grabbing everything around me that I could, even if it was just a straw. When I got home, Travis still wasn't back. I knew he didn't come home all night. I also didn't come home all night. And only the dog knew that. Azong wagged his tail happily at me. After refiling Azong's dog food, I lay on the sofa to rest. I didn't expect that I was so exhausted yesterday that I actually slept until noon. My first reaction was to look at my phone. I sent so many messages and made so many calls to Travis yesterday, but he didn't reply to any of them. My heart felt stuffy. Travis finally remembered to reply to the message. I worked overtime so late yesterday that I didn't go back. Is there anything wrong with you? There were so many things I wanted to say. But in the end, they all turned into 2 words, nothing. In the afternoon, I took out our photo album and flipped through it page by page. I flipped through from the noon sun until the sun set in the west. Many of the photos were taken with a Polaroid camera. The Polaroid camera was a graduation gift that Travis gave me. He said that we would use this Polaroid camera to record every bit of our lives together until we grew old. I still remember that. But he has forgotten. I don't know if it's because of a guilty conscience. But Travis didn't work overtime today. Did you sleep well yesterday? Did you miss me? He hugged me from behind. And I quietly dodged while pretending to tidy up the photo album. What? You missed me so much that you had to look at the photos. I looked up and met Travis's raised eyebrows. Why didn't I notice how greasy he was before? Sure enough. Being in love can blind you. When there was no love for Travis in my eyes anymore, he suddenly seemed so ordinary. Until the next day when I went to work. He still didn't notice the cold medicine placed at the entrance. In the past, even when I just got a cut on my finger from a test paper, he would carry me to the infirmary. When we got to the infirmary, the school doctor made fun of us, saying that if we had come a little later, the wound would have healed already. The shadow of the young man who regarded me as extremely precious was gradually covered by the grown-up Travis. Thinking of this, my tears flowed uncontrollably. I looked at myself in the mirror, not knowing who I was crying for. Everything in the room and all the memories in my head made me feel painful. Luna, do you want to join the research group in advance during the summer vacation? My graduate supervisor sent me an invitation. I'll arrange the accommodation for you. And I'll also pay you $400 per month. My graduate supervisor is really nice. I don't mean to make you do hard work. It's just that I think you should be interested in this project. Thank you, teacher. I'll go. I can be there tomorrow. I haven't figured out how to deal with the situation with Travis yet. So I decided to prioritize my studies. Men and love are unreliable. Only the knowledge I learn is truly mine. I arrived relatively early. After tidying up my bed, my roommate finally came. Luna, you actually came. You didn't usually come during holidays. Did you? My roommate looked at me in shock. Yeah. In the past, in order to spend more time with Travis, I didn't participate in the holiday projects. I smiled. I'm quite interested in this project. Oh, that's right. The paper you published before was in this direction. My roommate put down her suitcase, put her arm around my shoulder, and whispered, Luna, let me tell you. We've really made a big profit this time. I looked at her in confusion. The person leading us this time is Asher, who just came back from studying abroad. He has strong professional abilities and is also super handsome. I pulled my roommate's hand away. You'd better be careful. The more handsome a man is, the better he is at lying. I'll take that as a compliment. When I heard the familiar voice, I suddenly turned around. It was actually Asher. Another roommate shyly took the luggage from Asher's hand. Thank you, Asher. My mind went blank. Who can tell me that the man I casually flirted with in the bar is actually the person in charge of the research project? Asher's appearance gave me quite a shock. I was also busy with the group meeting report, so I didn't have much time to think about Travis. Fortunately, having fulfilled the obsession, Asher didn't seem to have the intention of exposing me. So I just played dumb along with it. At the group meeting, Asher changed his easygoing attitude. His requirements for academics were so strict that they were simply outrageous. The more my roommate reported, the quieter her voice became. Asher had a smile on his face, but his tone was cold. Go back and do it again. One after another, the presenters were sent back. No matter how handsome Asher was, no one liked him anymore. The atmosphere in the meeting room dropped to freezing point. Asher loose and his tie, and his knuckles cracked. He was clearly getting impatient. He leaned back in the chair behind him. If these are the kinds of reports, you can lead the group on your own. Everyone was silent. I went up to give my report under pressure. Asher asked me two questions in the middle. I had noticed them when I was looking up the literature, and I answered them fairly smoothly. He nodded. Not bad. The rest of you can lead the meeting. Luna, you stay behind. Before my roommate left, she gave me a look that said good luck. Although I had done a lot of preparation for this topic, when I thought that the person in front of me was Asher, I was still nervous, and my back involuntarily straightened up. Asher was indeed very excellent. He added some supplements to the vague parts of my report. I suddenly saw things in a new light. After the guidance was over, I sincerely expressed my gratitude. Thank you, Asher. Asher's shirt collar was open, and his collarbone was faintly visible, just like he was in the bar that day. Seeing my expression, Asher smiled, and his dimples were really cute. How are you going to thank me? Huh? Owe me another one? My face turned bright red. So he remembered it all. I wasted so much time pretending. Noticing my embarrassment, Asher diffused the situation by saying, I'm just kidding. Did I scare you just now? I nodded and then shook my head. No. It's good that you're so responsible, Asher. When we were going downstairs, Asher suddenly said, have you figured out how to solve the problem with your boyfriend? I stopped in my tracks and almost missed a step. Fortunately, having fulfilled Lee, Asher steadied me. When he saw that I was standing firmly, Asher politely let go of his hand. It seems you haven't. Thinking of Travis. I became silent. Luna, you should make up your mind about this kind of thing as soon as possible. The longer you delay, the worse it will be for you. Don't be too kind. It's okay to be a little selfish in life occasionally. I knew what Asher was talking about. When I asked him what I should do, he said that I could use him to move on. But I don't want to be selfish towards Asher. It's Travis and Siren's fault. I shouldn't drag innocent people into this. 2 days after joining the group, Travis finally noticed that I wasn't at home. Baby, where did you go? When I saw the word baby, I felt disgusted. Travis was lingering between me and Siren, and he even started mixing up the nicknames he called us. The pattern of love is fixed. Travis, do you really love me? Or is it okay with anyone? There's a sudden project in the laboratory, so I went back to school early. Sigh. Our little Luna is really a good baby who loves to study. Travis sent me an emoji. I've never seen it before. It's very cute. Our mom just asked me about our wedding plan. I took out the PPT that I had only half made for the wedding process. Every time and every detail was carefully designed by me. Unfortunately, having fulfilled Lee, There won't be a chance to implement it. I decided to give Travis one last warning. On the last page of the PPT, I typed, "Travis, let's break up." Less than 5 seconds after I sent it, Travis immediately replied with the OK emoji. I knew you had already prepared it. I smiled, self-deprecating lie. It turned out that I was the only one who was looking forward to this wedding. He didn't even open it to take a look. Siren applied to add me on WeChat and immediately apologized. "Sister Luna, I'm so sorry. I accidentally got your slippers dirty when I went to your house today. I'll buy you a new pair." Huh. This isn't an apology at all. It's clearly a provocation. Asher was right. It's Travis and Siren's fault. I shouldn't be the one suffering. It should be them. They say on the internet that there's a kind of breakup called a cliff-like breakup. I didn't tell Travis that I knew about his infidelity. We were still maintaining the lover relationship that he thought we had. It's just that I was taking back my feelings little by little. Getting ready to leave Travis. I would completely leave him mentally before breaking up with him. I was consuming my last bit of liking for Travis. I set a deadline of 1 year for myself. Siren's profile picture is ridiculous. Although it's blurred, you can still tell that it's part of Travis's back, doing such a thing right under my nose. I changed my WeChat homepage and profile picture to a photo of Travis and me. I even asked Travis to change to the same one. I told Siren, no need. Travis will buy me a new pair. As long as I haven't broken up with Travis, she will always be the shameful mistress. Siren has been in a good mood recently, and has been posting happy daily life on Dewey and every day. She didn't update tonight. There were still 10 months to go before my wedding with Travis. And I took the first step in breaking away from him, focusing entirely on myself. In the past, I subconsciously regarded Travis as my family. In order to spend more time with him, I missed a lot of opportunities. Now, whenever there are business trips for lectures and various activities at school, I can participate if I want to. When making any decisions, I no longer need to consider his feelings. In the KTV private room, my roommate drank too much and grabbed a microphone to show off her tone-deaf singing voice. The junior graduate student came up to me and raised his glass. "Sister Luna, I really owed you a lot for your help in my first year of graduate school. I'd like to toast you." The man in front of me was wearing a white shirt and gold-rimmed glasses. Looking very cute. He was not like Travis, who was both charming and annoying with his ruffian air. I just gave some suggestions. It mainly depends on your own efforts. I clinked glasses with him and drank it all in one gulp. When the light shone on him, the junior's face turned red. He seemed to want to say something more, but was pushed to the side by my roommate, who had just finished howling a song. My roommate put her arm around my shoulder and aimed at the microphone. "Everyone, listen to me. Today, our department's beauty, Luna, is participating in an offline entertainment activity for the first time. We must make sure she has a good drink and a great time." After that, the prelude to the next song started. And she ran to sing again, leaving me alone, feeling disoriented in the corner. Originally, having fulfilled my obsession, not many people paid attention to me. But after my roommate's shout, one person after another came to offer a toast. I accepted them all. It really tasted bitter. I remembered that at the high school graduation dinner, many people also wanted to drink with me. I had never drunk before and felt a bit nervous. Just as I didn't know what to do, Travis took the glass. "What's the point of picking on a little girl? If you have the guts, come at me." Travis was really badly drunk that day. Leaning on my shoulder, he said he loved me in a delirious state. As I thought about it, not only did my mouth feel bitter, but my heart also ached. I took another glass of wine. Before I could bring it to my mouth, a large hand with distinct knuckles came into my sight. Asher bent slightly and took the wine from my hand. The environment was dim, but his voice was clear. "I'll drink it for her." In a trance, I seemed to see the old Travis. No, it wasn't like him. Travis was a sunny and unrestrained young man, enthusiastic and flamboyant. Asher had a mysterious aura about him, unfathomable and hard to understand. Having drunk too much, I leaned against the wall and went out to get some fresh air. My love for Travis was like a needle stuck in my heart. Occasionally. When I was busy, I didn't have time to think about it. But once I was free, even an inadvertent breath would pierce my bones with pain. Here. Asher handed me a bottle of honey pomelo tea, with the cap already tightened. He sat down beside me, after drinking too much. This will make you feel better. Thank you. The night wind was a bit chilly. I just tucked my feet in a little. And Asher had already draped his coat over me. The scent belonging to him enveloped me. And it was very warm. Asher. Because of the alcohol. I spoke slowly. Asher wasn't in a hurry either. And the corners of his eyes lifted. What a pity. What's a pity? Asher. You're perfect in every way. But it's a pity that the timing is wrong. You shouldn't be so nice to me in the future. Asher smiled and turned sideways. His profile was incredibly good-looking. When the 7th taxi passed by, Asher rubbed my head. What are you thinking about? I'm just worried about the physical health of my group members. We still have experiments to do tomorrow. You have to cheer up. You hear me? I was being sentimental. Early the next morning, I dressed up before going out. I was reading documents while drinking soy milk. Suddenly, someone gently patted my shoulder. It turned out to be the junior. The junior smiled shyly. Sister. You're also here for breakfast. Looking at his way of making small talk, I thought he was very cute. I weighed the soy milk in my hand. What else? The junior's face turned even redder. I was about to tease him some more when Asher suddenly appeared from nowhere. There are a lot of experiments today. Come over early after you've eaten. I could only say goodbye to the junior and silently follow Asher's long legs. It was inhumane and heartless. As soon as I arrived at the laboratory, several boys in the same group lit up when they saw me. My roommate even hugged me directly. Luna is especially charming today. After choosing Travis, I deliberately kept a distance from other men and rarely dressed up. A white coat landed on me, accompanied by Asher's cold voice. Exude your charm after finishing the experiment. With you dressed like this, it's hard for us to concentrate. No. Who taught him to compliment people like this? On the weekend, I went back to the home that Travis and I shared. There was a faint, sweet smell in the air. And I couldn't help but sniff. Baby, you're back. I leaned against the entrance and bent down to take off my high heels. Travis was wearing an apron and holding a spatula in his right hand. He poked his head out from the kitchen. I made your favorite fried pork in sweet and sour sauce to reward our hardworking Luna recently. I smiled and said, okay. The setting sun shone on the dining table, creating a warm and cozy atmosphere. I remember that it was also an evening when we were choosing the house. Because of my parents' divorce and the incomplete family, I really liked the warm atmosphere of the dining room. So we directly decided on this house. Travis picked up a piece of fried pork for me. Eat more. You've lost weight. We talked about the interesting things that had happened recently. It seemed that nothing had changed. Yet at the same time, everything had changed. Before we finished dinner, Travis's phone screen lit up. He glanced at it, then turned the phone over and quickly finished the food in his bowl, mumbling, baby, there's something urgent at the company. I'll go to the study and work overtime for a while. As he got up and walked towards the study, he didn't forget to turn back and remind me, just leave the dishes there after you finish eating. I'll clean them up when I'm done. Since he had cooked the meal, out of politeness, I still washed the dishes. There was a watermelon in the refrigerator, so I cut some and took it to the study. Travis was looking at his phone and smiling sweetly. Noticing that I had come in, he quickly put away his smile, sat up straight and asked back, why did you come in? I was taken aback. In the past, when he was working overtime, I could come and go in the study at any time. Sometimes when he was tired, he would act coquettously and ask me to stay with him. I lowered my eyes. I brought you some fruit after the meal. Oh, put it here. Realizing that his tone was wrong, Travis softened his voice. Thank you, baby. Perhaps out of panic, he only remembered to lock his phone screen but forgot that his WeChat was still logged in on the computer. The last sentence in the chat box between him and Siren was Siren's thanks to him. Thank you, Travis, for the PPT. Otherwise, heading fulfilled wise. I wouldn't know what to do with my group assignment. Travis forced a laugh. Luna. Don't get me wrong. Siren is so clumsy that she can't even make a PPT properly. Travis opened and closed his mouth, explaining for a long time. But what I was thinking in my heart was that he didn't participate at all in the PPT for our wedding. For Siren's group assignment, he was even willing to skip a meal to help her. I smiled self-deprecatingly. Travis thought I didn't care and let out a sigh of relief. On the day of our classmate's wedding, Travis and I attended together. As soon as we arrived, we were teased by our old classmates with smiles. The school belle and the school hunk are here. Miss Luna, you're getting more and more beautiful recently. I'm not flattering you. You're really more beautiful than at the last gathering. I smiled. The classmates in the laboratory had also been saying the same recently. Sure enough, people should love themselves well and dress up to please themselves. Upon hearing this, Travis took a closer look at me, and tightened his hold on my arm. Our Luna is always beautiful. Isn't she? The changes were obvious enough for outsiders to see. Yet he actually needed someone to remind him. TSK. Travis. You're so shameless. Exactly. It was raining at the last gathering. And you didn't pick up your such a beautiful girlfriend. If you had come any later, I would have taken Luna back to my place. Travis narrowed his eyes and leaned close to my ear. It was raining at the last gathering. Why didn't you ask me to pick you up? I couldn't hold back my laughter. I took out my phone and showed him the records of the calls and messages I sent him that day. Oh. By the way, where were you that day? Big brother? What were you doing? Why couldn't I get in touch with you no matter how hard I tried? Travis rubbed his nose. Sorry. Baby. It won't happen again in the future. When a woman's intelligence reaches a certain level, it's almost difficult for her to find a husband. Because when she listens, there will surely be a mocking voice ringing in her heart. At this moment, my heart was filled with nothing but mocking voices. I suddenly realized that my love for Travis had been almost completely worn away. During the bouquet toss, it just happened to hit me. Our classmates laughed and joined in the fun. Looking at Travis. Travis was wearing formal attire, looking handsome and elegant. He looked at me with doting and affectionate eyes. Everyone knew that he would marry me. But they didn't know that I didn't want to marry him anymore. Travis opened his arms and walked towards me through the crowd. Azan took the lead and jumped into my arms. Siren was panting behind. Travis. Sister Luna. I'm sorry. I didn't know you were here too. Azan. When he saw Sister, he went crazy and I couldn't hold him back. Siren's chest rose and fell with her rapid breathing, quickly attracting the attention of the guests present. I hugged Azan. The little dog missed me so much and was jumping around and licking me. Azan had always been very obedient. At the moment, he wasn't wearing a leash, and the wedding venue was in a park on the outskirts. How could Siren have walked the dog all the way here? Travis's face turned unpleasant. The people around were egging them on. Who is this pretty girl? Siren hid behind Travis. Looking innocent, I'm a student who helps Travis walk the dog. My name is Siren. A college student. Do you have a boyfriend? Travis. Introduce her quickly. Travis introduced Siren one by one to our old friends. Siren had a sweet tongue. She called one brother and another brother too. But her attitude towards girls wasn't so good. She would turn around and act coquettously with the brothers. Sorry, defeat. My personality is more like a boy's. I haven't gotten along well with girls since I was a child. As she spoke, she inadvertently puffed out her chest, implying that she had been envied by girls since she was a child. My best friend gulped down a glass of wine and slammed the glass on the table. The glass almost shattered under her force. She was straightforward and bold. Even the boys couldn't beat her when we were at school. Brother. People who don't know might think a chicken from somewhere has run out. Luna, It's not that I'm saying this. But this Siren seems to have ill intentions. I patted her on the back. You can tell. Right? My best friend rolled her eyes. I'm reminding you. Don't scold me indirectly. Okay. I got it. For this wedding, the bride and groom only invited their very close friends. The minimum amount of the gift money from the friends was no less than 5,000 yuan. The bride and groom also found the best venue and the most expensive chef. The kind where you order dishes according to a customized menu and pay for them. Seeing the exquisite food, Siren came up to the bride and groom. Brother groom, I'll also give the gift money. Let me stay and have dinner with you. My best friend rolled her eyes. The gift money is expensive. Don't blame me for not warning you. As if she didn't hear my best friend's words. Siren had already sat down and started ordering. I don't know if she hadn't eaten or what. But she placed a crazy number of orders, and had oil all over her mouth while eating. She thought she was being cute and said to the other boys, I've had a big appetite since I was a child. My mom said I'm like a boy. After the wedding ended, the bride pulled me aside and asked me embarrassedly, Luna, is Siren your friend? I shook my head. I know her. But we're not close. I don't know her either. Can you help me ask for the gift money? Seeing that it wasn't easy for the bride to deal with this, and since Siren was indeed somewhat related to me and Travis, I had to agree. Siren, please settle the wedding gift money. How much is it? 5,000 yuan. Siren was taken aback for a moment and raised her voice. How much did you say? I originally didn't want to make a big scene, so I specifically found a corner position to talk to Siren. If you want to cheat me out of money, just say it directly. Who gives such a large wedding gift for attending a wedding? Siren's shout attracted everyone's attention. What's wrong? Travis looked at Siren. Siren immediately had red eyes and said pitifully, Sister Luna, I know you don't like me, but you can't cheat me out of the wedding gift money either. Travis looked at me with that kind of gaze for the first time, as if there were knives stabbing from his eyes into my heart. I was at a loss for words for a moment. Seeing this, my best friend immediately got angry. I already told you the wedding gift is expensive. But you still insisted on crashing the party. She pointed at the dishes in front of Siren's table, which had hardly been touched and were left unison. We're charging according to the dishes ordered. She's like a pig, ordering a whole table of food, which costs tens of thousands of yuan. Neither the bride nor Luna said anything. They only asked you for 5,000 yuan. And you still have the nerve to cry? I've never seen someone as poor, pretentious, and fond of taking advantage as you. Everyone's eyes fell on the food in front of Siren's table, and their expressions towards Siren changed. It was supposed to be a nice wedding, a lively gathering among friends. Everyone knew their limits and thought they could leave some wedding gift money for the bride and groom in the end. Unexpectedly, Siren alone wasted so much money. Seeing that she was in the wrong, Siren could only look at the new good brothers she had recognized. The brothers of this age basically all have girlfriends. As soon as money was involved, they all looked up at the sky. Travis wanted to stand up for her, but was pulled away by an old classmate. As they walked away, I heard the old classmate whispering to persuade Travis, Travis, don't you want your wife anymore? Helplessly, Siren could only grit her teeth and pay the 5,000 yuan. On the way back, Travis wasn't very happy. It was just about the wedding gift money. There was no need to make such a big scene. I looked at Travis's hand holding the steering wheel. Travis, I was just helping the bride collect the wedding gift money. After stating the fact, I didn't say anything more. The atmosphere in the car became more and more awkward. Travis's phone rang extremely harshly. Siren's sobbing voice came through. Travis, it's so dark outside. The bus has stopped running. And I can't get a taxi either. What should I do? Travis's fingers tapped on the steering wheel one by one. He finally stopped the car. Luna, take a taxi back to the laboratory. I'll go pick up Siren. Worried that I would refuse, Travis talked more. Siren is young. And she's a girl. And she's alone. Okay. I nodded and got out of the car without looking back. When Travis turned around and passed by me, he seemed to want to say something. But in the end, he didn't say anything. It was really as dark outside as Siren said. There was no bus stop here. And I couldn't get a taxi either. Remembering that my younger brother's home was relatively close, I sent him a message asking him to come pick me up. 10 minutes later, my brother said he had arrived. I looked up and met Asher's eyes. Get in the car. I waved my hand. My younger brother. Your brother asked me to pick you up. Huh? After getting in the car, I found out that Asher was actually the cousin of my younger brother's newly formed family. Didn't you go to a wedding? Yes. Then why didn't your boyfriend send you back? I could tell that Asher was a bit angry. And I felt inexplicably guilty. He has a good sister to pick up. Asher laughed out of anger. You're really magnanimous. Thank you for the compliment. Asher. I'm here. Thank you. Asher. I'll treat you to a meal another day. Asher got out of the car, lit a cigarette, and the scarlet flame flickered on and off. Okay. You owe me one for now. Remembering the previous experience, my face quietly turned red. In my dream at night, Asher's shirt was half off, and his big hand with prominent veins was holding a cigarette. I gradually stopped caring whether Travis sent me messages or not. There are still 6 months left until my wedding date with Travis. I flipped through the chat records between Travis and me, and found that in this relationship, Travis was only proactive when he was chasing me. Later, it was always me who took the initiative to report my itinerary and care about his life. As long as I didn't speak first, Travis rarely came to me. I began to treat him the way he treated me, and canceled pinning his WeChat chat at the top. My life became busy. I did experiments, wrote reports, and went out to play with my peers. When someone came to add me on WeChat on the road, I also maintained an open attitude to make friends, and accepted all the requests. For me, it was a complete cold shoulder. But for Travis, it didn't cause any stir at all. He probably didn't even notice that I was ignoring him. At a gathering with old classmates on the weekend, several boys teased, "It's still you, Luna. You've got Travis wrapped around your finger." I was a bit dazed. Last time when we guys went out for a drink, before 8 p.m., you called Travis several times to urge him to go home. Everyone laughed. And I joined in. I never made any such calls. When Travis was answering Siren's call, did he think of me? At night, in the dormitory, my roommate passed by behind me and leaned her head over. "Luna, what are you doing?" I stopped my hand that was editing the video. My roommate had already seen the people in the video and exclaimed in shock, "Isn't this your boyfriend? Why is he so intimate with another woman?" I covered my roommate's mouth and asked her to keep it a secret. In order to consume my love for Travis as soon as possible, I registered a new Douyin account. I specifically edited the videos of the ambiguous interactions between Siren and Travis from the videos that Siren had posted. This is called desensitization treatment in psychology. Because the production was excellent, the traffic was even better than their accounts. Both Siren and Travis followed me. My roommate was so shocked that her mouth dropped open. She stroked my head. "Luna, have you gone crazy from the stimulation?" "No. I just don't want to be soft-hearted." Recently, Travis finally noticed that I wasn't paying much attention to him and took the initiative to ask me what I was doing. Just like he used to use working overtime as an excuse. My reply was always, "I'm in class or doing experiments. We haven't seen each other for a long time. Let's have a meal together on the weekend." Only then did I remember that I had said I would treat Asher to a meal last time. But I had forgotten about it, because I was busy. "I'm not available on the weekend." "Then next week?" "Sure." Travis sent several voice messages of 60 seconds in a row. But I didn't open any of them. I found Asher's WeChat. "Asher, let's have a meal together on the weekend?" Asher replied instantly, "Aren't you going to owe me one anymore?" "Me, I owe too much. I want to clear the debt." After sending it, I felt it was inappropriate and quickly recalled the message. Asher had already seen it and replied with, "Indeed. It's time to clear the debt." Siren updated on Douyin that she was going on a trip to the seaside and added the tag crush. Huh. So that's why she suddenly cared about me. After confirming that I wouldn't be going back this week, she wants to take Siren out to play. Right? Just in time. While they're out playing, I'll pack up the things that belong to me at home first. After packing everything up, there were actually only 2 boxes. I asked my younger brother to come and help me move them, but it was Asher who knocked on the door again. I poked my head out and looked behind him. "Asher. Where's my younger brother?" Asher had already entered the room, picked up a box of luggage, and was walking outside. He was wearing a black tracksuit today. And he looked very young. Sure enough. Those muscles on his body weren't built for nothing. Asher didn't even pout when lifting the things and even easily answered my question. Your younger brother wants to be in a relationship too. Fine, what are lo sai? The little rascal didn't tell me he was in a relationship. Did he? Asher seemed to be in a good mood. Where should I put the luggage? Put it at my younger brother's place first. Asher pushed his glasses. Your younger brother's place is too small. Why don't you put it at my place? My place is quite big. And it's not far from your younger brother's place. I didn't want to cause trouble for my dad. And I was really tempted by Asher's proposal. Asher. Won't it be too much trouble? No. It's very convenient. Asher smiled, showing faint dimples. Then I'll trouble you, heading to Philwavsai. Senior. Asher's home is indeed quite big. The decoration style is minimalist and comfortable. But it's too cold and empty. There are a few shelves. And it must be very suitable to put my strange, cute figurines and dolls on them. Goodness. What am I thinking? Sis. What's with that expression on your face? Asher cooks really delicious food. I can't even get to eat it usually. Coming back to my senses, I felt even more embarrassed. I had originally agreed to treat Asher to a meal. But somehow it turned into Asher cooking for my younger brother and me at home. The little rascal looks more and more annoying. I gave him a flick on the head. You brat. You never come when I ask you for help. But you're so eager when it comes to eating. Ouch. Sis, don't make me stupid. Tell me. My younger brother looked confused. Huh? Tell what? When did you start your relationship? Me? In my all-boys school. I'm in a relationship. With what? Asher suddenly said. The food is ready. Come and serve it. My younger brother immediately shut up and ran to carry the dishes. Asher's cooking skills are really good. And the dishes he made are all my favorites. I haven't been this full for a long time. It's even better than in a restaurant. Asher raised the corners of his mouth and said proudly. Do you like it? I nodded vigorously. There's even more delicious food. I'll make it for you next time. Okay. Asher stretched out his fingers and played with them a few times. How many times do you owe me now? I almost spat out the soup in my mouth. Asher. Are you some kind of loan shark spirit? Why does the debt keep increasing? After the meal, I asked my younger brother if he wanted to adopt a cute little stray dog. My younger brother was silent. Asher raised his hand. I do. Travis went out to play. And Azong was boarded at a pet store. Asher and I went to pick up Azong and brought him back to Asher's home together. I also dealt with the last connection with Travis cleanly. I was lying on the bed in the dormitory when Siren suddenly sent me a photo. In the photo, had info felt website. She and Travis were in a hotel bed. She retracted the message on purpose after a certain time. But I took a screenshot immediately. I called Travis. And he picked up immediately. Baby. What's wrong? Nothing. I just miss you a bit. Did Siren think I would tear my mask off? It wasn't the time yet. I replied to Siren, I was just on the phone with my boyfriend. What did you send? Siren said sarcastically, if you didn't see it, then forget it. When editing the travel videos of Travis and Siren, I felt no waves in my heart. Perhaps out of guilt. Travis treated me extremely well after he came back. During the meal, he even gave me a gold bracelet. Why did you suddenly think of giving me a gift for no reason? Travis avoided my gaze. Who says you can't be romantic on ordinary days? On the way back to school, I found another gold bracelet in the car, which was exactly the same as the one on my wrist. I quietly put it in my bag without showing any reaction. Siren had done such petty tricks more than once. Before, she deliberately left her lipstick and hairpins in Travis's car. Later, it was her panties and bra straps. I simply pretended not to notice. Now that she dares to leave behind a gold bracelet, then it belongs to me. The next day, Siren came to me, Sister Luna. Have you seen a gold bracelet in Travis's car? I waved my wrist. Do you mean something like this? Siren's eyes lit up. Yes. That's it. As she said that, she tried to snatch it. I sidestepped to avoid her. Did you lose yours? Then I have to be careful. I hope your bracelet won't turn up in a few days while mine is still lost. Siren stamped her feet in anger. By the way, who gave you yours? This one of mine was given by Travis, look. I even have photos of the box and the receipt. Siren was like a mute eating bitter herbs. Having to suffer in silence. If there's nothing else, I'm going to class now. I sold both gold bracelets for money and invited my friends to the bar. Asha lost a game and had to find someone to give a princess carry and do 10 squats. Without any warning, I was easily lifted up by him. I instinctively put my arms around his neck. His strong heartbeat transmitted from his chest to my body. Asher had a very strong core. His movements were crisp and clean. Before I knew it, the punishment was completed. Luna, what do you think of Senior's figure? My roommate leaned close to my ear with a misty smile. It's okay. It was so hot. I took a glass of wine and drank it. Asher was sitting right across from me. It seemed like he was looking at me. Yet it also seemed like he wasn't. When the gathering ended, I had drunk quite a bit and almost fell while walking. But Asher steadied me. Not happy today? Asher's eyes showed no obvious emotion. But he saw through me at a glance. I smiled. No. I'm very happy. I leaned close to his ear. I made some money today. Asher's Adam's apple rolled. And he followed my words, little money G-rubber? I was unconvinced. What are you laughing at? Aren't you greedy for money? Asher suddenly lowered his head, and the tip of his nose almost touched mine. His rosy lips opened and closed. It just so happens that I'm after your looks. Fake wine can be really harmful. Remembering the scenes from last night, my face was incredibly hot. Recently, Travis noticed that there were fewer things of mine at home, but he didn't think much of it and casually asked, Luna, did you come home to pack your things? Yeah. I packed some things I need. Then his message from Siren interrupted us. We were sitting across from each other having a meal, but he was seriously replying to another woman's message. I took a sip of soup, by the way. My senior likes puppies. So I gave these on to his home. I didn't know if Travis heard me or not, but he didn't even look up and just said okay. There was still 1 month left until my wedding with Travis. My younger brother graduated from university. Holding a bouquet of flowers, I attended his graduation ceremony. Many people were taking photos at the school gate. I saw Travis and Siren hugging affectionately at a glance. Oh, right. Siren was also graduating today. Sis. I'm here. My younger brother's loud shout attracted a lot of attention, including Travis's. He froze, immediately let go of the hand that was around Siren's waist, and looked at me at a loss. I ignored him and walked towards my brother. Luna, why are you here? I pointed at my younger brother. My brother is graduating today. I told you about it when we had dinner last week. You said you didn't have time. Right? Travis stopped me. Luna, it's not what you think. I didn't want to listen to his excuses anymore. Travis, we're breaking up. I thought I would be very sad. But on the day I actually said it, I wasn't sad at all. Instead, I felt a sense of relief and let out a sigh. Travis got anxious and rushed over to hold my shoulders. But Asher grabbed his wrist and pulled his hand away. Didn't you hear? She said we're breaking up. Travis was a head shorter than Asher. And because he hadn't paid attention to his figure management over the years, he looked much more greasy. Are you breaking up with me because of him? Facing Travis's act of shifting the blame, I was so angry that I laughed. The young man in my memory gradually faded away. I put my arm around Asher's. Yes. Because of him. Asher's muscles tensed for a moment. And he smiled with a look of pride that was a bit annoying. Anger, shock, and unwillingness flashed in Travis's eyes. But there was no trace of guilt. The summer wind was still as warm as ever. I remembered the day of my high school graduation. Travis looked so young and promised me forever. His forever was too short. Just a few years. My love for Travis had disappeared, and his love for me was just beginning. Travis took a long leave from the company. He waited downstairs in my dormitory every day, accompanied me to class, and ate with me. It was as if we had gone back to our middle school days. He didn't ask me about Asher. And I didn't talk to him about Siren. We maintained a delicate balance as if nothing had happened. The classmates who didn't know the whole story thought I had an enviable lover. Travis picked up the braised pork in his bowl and put it in mine. But I didn't eat it. Luna. We're getting married next month. What kind of wedding do you want? We'll do it according to the PPT you made before. It's up to you. Okay? Let's invite our high school classmates to have a great time together. We'll have 2 babies in the future. One will look like you. And the other will look like me. I interrupted him, Travis. We won't get married. And there's no future for us either. Travis's eyes turned red instantly. Luna. Don't be like this. I was wrong. I know I was wrong. To be honest, seeing Travis like this, I was sad. I couldn't eat anymore. So I picked up my tray and was about to go back to the dormitory. Travis started to become hysterical. Luna. We've been together for so many years. How long have you been with Asher? Do you really have to give up our relationship of so many years for him? The tray fell to the ground. And the oil stains wet my skirt. Hearing that it was a love triangle and it involved the great Asher, more and more classmates came to watch the scene. I took out a tissue and wiped my skirt. Travis. Stop making a scene. Travis became even more emotional. My roommate couldn't stand it anymore. What right do you have to say such things? When you were with Siren. Why didn't you think of today? When Luna was crying herself to sleep every night. Where were you? Travis looked at me in disbelief. You already knew? I threw away the trash in my hand and nodded, yes. A long time ago. Then when did you decide to leave me? Travis's voice gradually trembled. I looked up at the window and thought carefully. When was it? The first time you talked about literature and art with Siren. When I wanted to refuse her offer to walk the dog and you didn't agree. When I called you on that rainy night asking you to pick me up, but you went to comfort Siren. The memories of the past became clearer bit by bit. Travis covered his head in pain. Stop. Luna. I beg you. Stop. Seeing that I was about to leave. Travis cried and blocked my way. Luna. I was wrong. Please forgive me. Okay? I didn't mean to have anything serious with Siren. I was just having some fun with her. On the day of her graduation ceremony. I was going to break up with her. I didn't say anything and stared at Siren outside the door. That afternoon, Travis didn't show up downstairs anymore. Instead, Siren sent me a WeChat message. In the photo, Travis was drunk and lying on the hotel bed with her. Sister Luna. You're so beautiful, smart, and excellent in your studies. You have so many advantages. I'm stupid, dull, and not good looking. Why did Travis choose me instead of you? Didn't you say it? Because you're slutty, stupid, and ugly. Now that we had completely fallen out, I didn't hold back either. A smart woman deals with men. From the day Siren regarded me as her imaginary enemy, she was doomed to fail. I thought it was all over. Unexpectedly, Travis came to apologize the next day, saying that he had drunk too much and didn't know anything. What's more, he started to prepare for the wedding in earnest. He sent me videos of many sets of wedding dresses. Miss Luna. Which one do you like? He also sent me photos of the wedding venue. This is the venue you chose. It's really beautiful. Which style of invitation card should we use? The things I had once looked forward to now made me feel disgusted. I took a screenshot of the last page of the PPT and sent it to him. That was the first time I told him I wanted to break up, but he didn't even see it. Travis. I gave you a chance. Luna. I'm sorry. Can you give me one more chance? I found the account where I had edited the videos of him and Siren. This is my account. Didn't you even follow it? Travis. It's impossible for us. The intimate scenes of you and Siren crossing the line are already engraved in my mind, and I can't forget them. Seeing that he couldn't persuade me, Travis mobilized his relatives and friends to persuade me. They said he had just made a mistake that many men would make. They said he would change. They said we were about to get married and that our relationship of so many years couldn't be given up so easily. But he had eaten shit, done something unforgivable. Why should I be with someone like that? I applied for a short-term project in France and left. I didn't know until I got to the airport that Asher was also going to France. Away from the domestic environment. I relaxed completely. France was very beautiful. And our project went smoothly. On the last day, Asher and I decided to go out and have a stroll. Suddenly, the alarm went off, and there was a riot. Asher protected me behind him immediately. And we hid in an alley. From time to time, the sound of broken glass and the cries of victims could be heard around us. Our lives were in danger at any moment. Asher held me tightly. The corners of his eyes were red. Obviously, having sustained my exile. He had a lot to say. But he just comforted me softly. Luna, don't be afraid. A person's first reaction can best reveal their heart. I had read a lot of news where husbands abandon their wives during explosions, earthquakes, or car accidents. Words were too pale. I stood on tiptoe and kissed Asher's lips. Fortunately, the police arrived in time. And we were safe. The photo of Asher and me kissing during the riot was captured by a reporter. The reporter interviewed me later and asked me why I did that. I said, I thought I was about to die and I hadn't kissed such a handsome guy yet. I felt it was a bit of a loss. Asher kept giggling beside me. And his dimples became deeper. On the bench in the park, I asked Asher what he wanted to say just now. He acted mysterious and asked me to wait for him for a while. When he came back, he was holding a bouquet of roses in one hand and a diamond ring in the other. He gracefully knelt down on one knee. Luna, will you marry me? Later, Asher told me when he was drunk. That day, he just wanted to protect me and make sure I survived. If we were lucky enough to both live, he would propose to me. After returning to China, Asher directly took me to his home. When I entered the room, I found that he had already packed all my things. Even my action figures and dolls were placed where I had wanted to put them before. Everything became traceable. No wonder he asked me to leave my things with him. Tell me, when did you start having thoughts about me? I hung around Asher's neck and acted coquettously. Asher opened his phone. And the screensaver was actually a photo of me from high school. To be exact, it was a screenshot of me giving my younger brother a video lecture on a math problem. And it was very blurry. So, you don't have a girlfriend at all? And you were the one who tipped off Asher when he came to pick me up before? I pulled my younger brother's ear and interrogated him. Sis. I was wrong. I was wrong. What exactly were you wrong about? I shouldn't have made video calls to ask you about problems I already knew how to solve in high school just for Asher's benefits. What else? I shouldn't have told Asher that the type of guy you like is a handsome, fit, well-behaved looking but seductive gentle scoundrel. I quickly covered my younger brother's mouth. It was so embarrassing. I had been pretending to be a well-behaved girl in front of Asher. My younger brother had revealed all my secrets. Asher was cooking in the kitchen. Azong was eating dog food. And my younger brother was getting beaten by me. The happy moments that I didn't dare to hope for in the past have now become my daily life. Seeing that I was still angry, my younger brother decided to trade with Asher's secret. When I saw Asher's previous photos, he looked completely different from now. Wow. Asher used to be the school bully? Of course. Sis. You're not at a loss. Asher was really popular back then. He reformed for you, breaking the hearts of many young girls. The more I looked at the photos, the more familiar they seemed. After I transferred to a new high school, because Travis liked me, the girls who had a crush on Travis found people to bully me. It was Asher who always followed behind me that they didn't dare to act. Before going to bed, I pestered Asher. Asher, when did you start liking me? What do you like about me? Asher didn't say a word. He neatly drew the curtains and, with his actual actions, showed me what true lust was. On my way to the laboratory, I met Travis. His hair had grown longer. And he hadn't trimmed his beard for a long time. His eyes were red. Luna, can you accompany me back to our high school one more time? I heard from my friends that during the time I was in France, Travis actually held a wedding with me. But I didn't attend. Siren went to the wedding while being pregnant. It was quite absurd. On the day we went back to high school, Travis rarely put on his old clothes. And I was wearing a new silk dress that Asher had bought for me. When I was at school, I always thought the campus was very big. But when I came back after growing up, I realized it was actually so small. We finished walking through an entire youth in just over 10 minutes. The images of us walking up the stairs together and him carrying me across the playground flashed before my eyes one by one and then disappeared. How could there be no regret? The lingering effect of regret is endless. Travis and I had watched the flowers, kissed each other, and discussed our future and our whole lives. In the end, we couldn't even be friends. Time seemed to be passing. Yet it also seemed like nothing had changed. When I looked into his eyes again, I was thinking that it seemed like I remembered a certain midnight. He nervously confessed to me, "Luna, can I kiss you?" The photo of me and Asher kissing in France was sent back to the country. Travis looked at the news and asked, laughing and crying, "Luna, is it over between us?" My love and hate for Travis had been frozen into a block of ice. Before I knew it, the ice had melted, leaving no trace. "Yeah. Travis. Goodbye." Travis shook his head and said painfully, "Okay. Do you have any other wishes?" I thought for a moment, "Sell the wedding house." "Okay." I turned to leave. And Travis suddenly called out to me, "Luna. The 18-year-old Travis really loved you." I smiled and didn't look back. If the 18-year-old Travis were still here, he would have surely stood up for me long ago. Later, when I got busy with my scientific research, I rarely heard any news about Travis. At the end of the year, I took Asher to a classmate gathering, and Travis didn't come either. I learned from an old classmate that after Siren got pregnant, she became suspicious and was in a car accident while following Travis. She didn't manage to keep the baby, and it would be very difficult for her to get pregnant in the future. Siren's family threatened Travis with death to make him marry Siren. In the past few years, Travis had been crushed by successive blows, and his work wasn't going well either. The two of them could only move back to their hometown, and there was no news of them ever since. On Christmas, Asher went to school to work overtime. I prepared a gift and waited for him to come home. When I heard the sound of the key unlocking the door, I rushed to the door. "Tata. Merry Christmas." "Asher. Come and open the gift quickly." Asher closed the door, blocking the cold air outside. The heating in the room was very warm. I was only wearing a red camisole nightdress that Asher had bought for me. Asher didn't show any reaction at first. He changed his clothes and washed his hands as usual. I was a bit disappointed. But then he pressed me against the dining table. His big hand with distinct knuckles reached past the bow on the gift box, and went for the bow behind my neck. "I really like this gift." The end.